بسعدنا لهالاسبوع استضافه الاستاذ عبد المنان البستكي and Captain زرير إيراني. We have the honor to have you today.
Thank you very much.
تشرفنا بحضرتك مستر.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنا عبد المنان البستكي. من بداية العمل معنا السيد زرير اللي تابع الشركة كونستليشن مارين سيرفيس. بداية العمل عندنا
بلشت معه ب
2007 من سنة 2007 من
2007. كيف تعرفت عليه؟ خلينا نحكي شوي عن
يعني مشان هاي التقرير التأمينات الشركات مشان باقرة في المينا راشد وبعد عندنا بالمينا أبو ظبي حتى عندنا مينا فجيرة.
جميل ما شاء الله.
كل هنا داخل الدولة ومن بعد خارج الدولة مثل سنغافورة بعد هونغ كونغ.
Captain Zarir, we have the honor again. Captain Zarir, tell us more about yourself. Who's Captain Zarir? From where? Why did you choose UAE? Tell us more about that.
First of all, thank you very much for having us on your show. We are really honored and privileged that you have chosen our business, Constellation Marine, to be your voice to transmit the news about UAE, about our business on your channel. So we appreciate that. On behalf of Abdul Manan and myself and Constellation Marine, we're grateful. A little about myself. I've been out at sea for 14 years, started as a young cadet and ended up being a captain on cargo ships. Had the privilege of going around the world, understanding international cultures, interacting with people. Originally being from India, born and brought up in Pune. Having done my nautical studies in UK, in South Shields.
After that you coming to...
Yes.
Why did you choose UAE?
Well, the last ship I was sailing on as a captain, I was sailing with my wife and our 3-year-old son. That's when we had a serious conversation whether I would continue sailing as a captain or be with our son as a dad, which most dads do, be there, take them to school, bring them up. So I gave a promise to my wife that I will be a normal dad from here on and not disappear away to sea for years on end. But I was fortunate that our son has been sailing with us since he was 14 months old. And when he was ready to go to kindergarten, I gave the promise to my wife that I'll look for another career and another way of life ashore, not sailing anymore. And that's what transpired. I got my first job here in UAE.
When you come in here as a staff or you have own business?
No, I came in as a surveyor, as a consultant with a 140-year-old company internationally who had a branch here. So I was chosen by them, interviewed as their operations manager with all the seagoing experience that I had. I started off my career in Sharjah in Al Mubarak Center. And had finished my 3.5-year contract with them, including my training program. And during those 3 years, I've done my MBA here in Knowledge Village and then in Academic City. Finished my MBA in marketing as my specialization. And during the course of my MBA program, which lasted 2 years while I was working, it was an executive MBA, so it was evening classes that I attended.
So tell us more about the relation between you and Mr. Abdul Manan. How you know him?
Abdul Manan is the lucky charm in our business life. He was introduced to me by an uncle of mine who'd been here for 20 years. His name is Dara. We met at a coffee shop in Karama and we struck a chord right from then. I told him I would like to start a business and would he like to be our local sponsor, because I was very clear that I wanted to have an LLC company on shore and not a free zone or any of that sort, which was also an option those days. Fortunately, Abdul Manan was very forthcoming, very free in his, and very approachable, very available. and a gentleman. I mean, being around the world, at least I can say that we get a bit of understanding when we meet people. We can understand the vibes and look into people's eyes and understand their genuinity. And there was no doubt about it. And he's been our sponsor right through. We've grown into Fujairah, Abu Dhabi, and he's been through and through. And and if I have to sum it up, I have to say that I call him Arbab, and Arbab means an Arab dad, and he really is that for us and for our family. We go to each other's houses. He's got a farm in Dahid. We've stayed there. We've shared each other's family good newses, bad newses, and he's always been there for us. And I couldn't have had a better guiding hand to the business, along with the freedom that he's given us to grow in him.
So anything inside your life, not business.
No. It started off as a business relationship, but it's grown as a family bond. And today I can say, in the UAE, I would easily call it this. Yes. Yes. Please.
احكي لنا شوي عن بداياتك بالعمل الخاص. خلينا نحكي قد ايه كانت الخطوه صعبه او سهله هون انه انت تبلش عملك الخاص، انه يكون لك الاستقلاليه بحياتك العمليه. هل هي صعبه او سهله كانت؟
الحين تعب، لكن اول مو تعب يعني نفس حالي بالنسبه لهاي الامراض الكورونا هذا تعب لنا وايد.
لكن البدايات كانت سهلة. خلينا نحكي شوي عن البدايات. بشو بلشتوا؟
بالدويد الحمد لله تمام، كان رويد جيد شغلنا.
شو كان الخطوة الأولى؟ شو كانت؟ بشو بلشتوا بالأول بالبداية؟
بالبداية كان هذا العمل اللي بالبينا، وهذا اللي تشيك على البقرة وطرادات، وهذه طراد يعني بعد الحوادث مشان يكتب التقرير على الشركات.
جميل. راح ارجع لك، بس خليني اروح شوي لكابتن زرير. كابتن زرير, tell us more about the starting. Is difficult or easy when you start your own business here in UAE specifically, especially?
Well, I must say that I personally found it very, very easy to set up the company, to get it off the ground. We were only 3 staff members, of which one of them was my wife. I found it personally very easy. The setup process was very easy. Abdul Manan was always available. We did not utilize the services of any PRO. We did everything ourselves. He had the knowledge and he shared it. He came along with all the ministry work. So that made it very, very easy to get it off the ground. We were fortunate to get our first office in Dubai Tower, which had its own significance in terms of address. Being an international business, an address does hold value in terms of branding, so we were very, very keen on that. So it was easy, I must say. It was expensive. My estimations were a bit off in terms of what costs would have been there and what costs were there. Like every other math you make, sometimes you get it wrong, sometimes it's off, but it was nothing that was not very out of bounds. We were able to, and we were fortunate. In 2007, business was really, really rampant, and we were riding a high tide. And it continued until 2009, although the world had its problems with 2008, but our segment of business, being claims, had its momentum into 2009. So we were fortunate that 2 years after starting, we were having a very good flow of work.
Tell us how you're growing till now, from 2007 till now.
Yeah, well, we've got a very, very organic growth in our organization. We don't have outside investors. We don't raise any debts from banks, any facilities. So everything that we have grown with is with our own profits. So like everybody else, I take a salary out of the organization. And at the end of the year, there is a remnant profit that remains, which most businesses have. You wouldn't be doing business if you weren't making profits. So those profits which are there are never taken out as dividends. They are reinvested in a new business idea or a new branch office, things. So that's how every year's remnant profits, we've reinvested in UAE. to start with. So we've got 3 registered offices and three branches in UAE. And then we moved on. We set up our London office. We got a board of directors, advisors there.
How many branches do you have now outside UAE?
Yeah, we got 5 liaison offices in Germany, Holland, China, West Africa, South Africa. London is a registered office, Singapore as well. So we've got a nice mixed bag of our own investment and liaison offices, because our business is to serve the international shipping community. So like most ships that come here are owned by entities outside, and then they bring their ships in. They have issues, they have problems, they have inspections requirements. So we address other than the yachting business and the cybersecurity business. These 2 business verticals are for the local market primarily. Yachting more so for GCC. So we inspect ships, boats, yachts, and in the yachting business is really low.
Captain Zaria Irani, President of the International Institute of Marine Surveying. Sorry about that. From experience, a good presentation is a short one, so I'm going to do exactly that. First of all, Madam Alice, thank you very much for having us. Like Trevor, Amar, Richie, Sarah, all of you. I saw actually coming up through the hall yesterday. Well done. I think we had a good conference. We had a good conference today, and Muhammad Ali before. 2 of my slides are going to be repeats, so that's why I shot. And the other reason is I can't speak as fast as Christy does. I think you covered 1 hour, 15 minutes. Well done. So moving on, I'm going to start off with talking about technology, but with a little thought. A fantastic chairman for the last 2 years that you have been, and Robertos is going to get the cartwheel on him now. Round of applause. Thank you very much, Roberto.
Tell us more about the services, about the specialized inside your company.
Constellation Marine has various departments, and I would like to focus on the yachting business, which is very relevant in the UAE. It's a growing business. There are so many islands. So we service the yacht owners, the underwriters, the insurance companies who insure those yachts. For the yacht owners, we carry out a pre-purchase inspection. We do sea trials for them. We maneuver the boats, and we draw out a finding list. We supervise the boats when they are being repaired or modified to the specifications of the owners. We assist owners in customized boat building purely as consultants. So for a yacht owner who's buying a boat, we'll look at the boat that he's proposing to buy. We also do valuation of the boat independently, and we draw out a finding list. It's a snag list which indicates to the owner what he's buying, because a lot of brokers, a lot of sellers, they will obviously want to paint a positive picture of the boat that they're proposing. Nothing wrong in that. I mean, they are doing it from a commercial perspective, not being technical people who understand the boat handling and the construction of boats. We've got naval architects who also do design work in case of modification. So we give them a report with the finding list and the costs involved in rectifying those defects. If they want us to value the boat as per market, there are some finance houses, banks who call us for valuation of the boats, because if the boat is being financed, they would like to know what the market price of the boat is. Because owners tend to pay a little bit more. If you like your boat, you want it at any cost. It's like a nice car you see, you fall in love with it and you want it. So the banks want to be sure that the price being paid for it is the right price. So I am paneled with most banks. We do a risk assessment, and our reports are valued. So if I have to sum up what we do, we sell trust to the market. Yeah. People come to us because we're independent, we're trustworthy, and we'll tell them what their boat looks like and is valued. Independently, we don't care whether the boat is finally being purchased by the owner who asks us to do the inspection, or the broker is proposing our name or not. We are independent. We just go there technically, look at what it is, and show you the facts. If somebody does not like what we've seen, we've got photographic evidence, we've got documents to prove what we have seen is what it is. So our report is full of all the evidence that we have seen. If the engine is not performing, if she's not pulling the speed that she's supposed to as per the specification, we'll paint the picture of it. If there's vibration sounds, if there's something rattling, broken, air conditioning not working, some equipment in the boat is not okay, we'll write it down, we'll take the evidence, and that's what the owners want. They want to know exactly what they're buying, particularly if it's a second-hand boat. Yeah. That's what we do.
So how you can get in the trust of the people?
By doing good work again and again. and it's more to do with the reputation. If you walk into any finance house or any broker's office or any finance lenders, they will know us.
Like that you can get a trust.
They know that it's sometimes scary, because brokers don't like a laundry list of findings. They want a shot, they wanted the boat sold, and end of the story. But we're not here to choose what is. We only report what we see. So trust is gathered over time. Like a child trusts the parent. If the first couple of times he throws himself and the parent doesn't catch the child or stop him from falling and getting injured, the child will stop trusting and offering that dependence on that individual, which is exactly what happens in our business. We've got to do consistent good work again and again, and if challenged, we've got to have that backbone which stands up to that criticism by virtue of providing evidence of our finding, which is what we do. So accident investigation.
I think it's, you will not stop here. You will continue. You have
Inshallah.
I think your vision.
Inshallah, we have a growth appetite. Surely we have a vision. We do have the confidence in the UAE of facilitation. We appreciate the vision of the rulers who want to make UAE a maritime hub. We are aligned with that, and we do have a similar vision of UAE becoming one of the top maritime centers in the world, which it already is to an extent. DP World being one of the top 3 ports in the world and around the world, so that marks a flag straight away.
Again, I wish the best for you, inshallah.
The pleasure.
So about UAE,
yes.
How much helped you to be here now?
Well, to be honest, the safety, the ease of doing business, the non-interference of anybody who wants to grow, the support from the authorities, maritime businesses have their reputation and their preferences. So in terms of UAE assistance in terms of business, the ports, we've got entry into all ports and clearances, so it's easy to do business in UAE from our perspective.
Not only for boats, for everything.
Of course.
It's easy.
It is.
You can make it anything.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, sure.
Indeed.
I will come back. Mr. عبد المنان بدي أسألك شوي الإمارات قد إيه ساعدتك اليوم لتكون بهالمكان هذا؟
الدولة الحمد لله، دولة الإمارات دولة المحبة. المحبة لكل الجنسيات.
صحيح.
محبة للمواطنين.
حتى اليوم بنشوف
الجنسيات.
أكثر من 200 جنسية بتشمل الدولة، بتحتوي أكثر من 200 جنسية.
أيوة.
صحيح.
نعم.
خلينا نتوجه برسالة شكر لقادة وحكام الدولة من
الدولة الحمد لله تمام يساعد الناس، للدولة يساعد الجميع المتساعدين. يعني حتى الدولة داخل الدولة وخارج الدولة.
أكيد.
مو يعني اللي عندنا.
أكيد. يعني اليوم شو بنحكي للقادة والحكام؟ كيف بنتشكرهم؟ شو بنوجه لهم؟
الجميع للدولة الأواخر اللي حول العالم.
صحيح.
الدولة
أكيد. شكرا للقادة وشكرا للدولة وشكرا لحكامها، أكيد دائما على دعمهم.
تمام الحمد لله. الله يعقد الشيخ خليفة، الشيخ محمد بن زايد، الشيخ محمد بن راشد، والجميع الحكام الدولة. الحمد لله. آمين رب العالمين. الحمد لله.
So, Captain Zarif, send a small thanks message to rulers, Sheikh, from your heart, from your side.
I must say that our prosperity, our well-being, our good health, our happiness is very much aligned since 2004 that I've been here. Along with UAE's growth, we have seen our growth. We are fortunate to be in a city, in a country that has had the fastest growing economy and the well-being and the safety standards. So our families and my personal heartfelt congratulations and a big thank you to the rulers, Sheikh Khalifa, Mohammed bin Zayed, Mohammed bin Rashid, Sheikh Hamdan, for allowing us to be their guests in this lovely country and to grow and prosper with abundant happiness. We own properties in UAE. We have our business. Our son has grown in this city from 3 years onwards, and we owe all the freedom that we've been given to grow and prosper in this international atmosphere of Dubai and UAE. And we owe them a lot more than we can ever express in words. So a very, very big thank you, and we're very grateful.
I wish the best also for
UAE. Indeed. I have no doubt with the dynamism that the rulers and the leaders of this country has, we will definitely see through this pandemic in flying colors. We already are amongst the top 3 most efficient respondents of the UAE of the coronavirus as per the WHO, and I have no doubt we will be amongst the first ones to recover from it.
Yeah, sure. So before we finish, send small thanks message for anyone during your life. He supported you.
Well, first of all, my source, from where I came, my parents who brought me up and given me the values that I have. I'm very thankful. Both of them, Soli, Rani and Zenobia, both of them are still around in our lives. We're very grateful, and thank you to them to bring me up the way they have, put in the right cultures, the values and the trust that I have had of the world has all come from them and their upbringing. My wife Farzeen, who's been with me for 22 years, being married, and we have a lovely son Darian, who's grown up to be a fine gentleman. He's 19 now, and they've given me the reason for working hard and growing and prospering, because we have someone to do it for as a purpose, as a family. They both love Dubai and UAE as much as I do. So we're thankful for their company. I'm thankful for Abdul Manan and his family to give us the support and freedom. And of course, all the friends, family, the customers who have trusted us to continue to grow and the freedom to express our professional integrity. So a big thank you to everybody. We feel that we wouldn't have been what we are without any single spoke of this wheel being intact. So they're all part of this wheel that's turning around. And Abdul Manan today, he's here on camera.
For you, really. Thanks for you, Mr.
And thank you for giving us an opportunity to express this. Appreciate it.
مستر عبد المنان كمان برضه بدنا ناخذ منك رسالة شكر بتوجهها لشخص كان داعم لك بالحياة، شخص موجود معك بالحياة وحابب اليوم تقول له شكرا.
شكرا لحضوركم ان شاء الله دائما.
شكرا لك دائما اكيد، ونتمنى لكم ان شاء الله التوفيق. نتمنى لكم التوفيق ان شاء الله، مزيد من النجاح.
Thank you.
And we wish the best really, and we had the honor again.
Thank you.
Thanks for you. Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're honored.
And thanks everybody. Thanks a lot.